Hey now, welcome to the TubCast. We're here. We're only slightly late. Don't worry about it. Oof. All right. How's it going, Lilith? Are you there? Uh-oh. Lilith, you're muted.
Oh, hi.
Womp womp.
This time I'm the boomer. It's okay.
Mm. Oh God.
Hello, Dev, and hello, chat.
Hello
Hello,
that one
everybody.
guy. Hello that one guy who's
Hello,
just
that one guy.
he's just spamming.
Chat singular.
There's a guy in the chat who's just spamming Lilith's feet over and over. Show feet pics.
Hello. Maybe,
You know what?
if you follow my Twitter, maybe some days.
Okay. Here, I'm
Gotta shill. Get more clout.
I got to hold on. I'm gonna put. I haven't advertised the stream yet because we just started and we're a little bit late. So I put it on Twitter, Facebook, Minds, Gab, Parlor, and Getter. I still haven't gotten an invite to Trump's Truth Social.
Oh no.
Sargon got
What
an
about,
invite.
what about Nick Fuentes' streaming site? You think you're gonna get
Oh,
invited to that?
Cozy. I don't know. I don't even know. Well, to be fair, I've probably made too many Nick Fuentes Catboy jokes to be allowed. But
Probably.
I mean,
That's probably for the best.
I'm not against the idea. You know, it's always good to be on more platforms, but I mean, d- for Nick Fuentes' site, isn't it literally only like 10 dudes, and they're all just like people who've been banned off mainline tech?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's not a big thing. It's just like a few dudes. You're right.
I think they get some viewers there though, don't they? Here,
Probably.
let me adjust.
I'm
Let me
sure
adjust.
there's dedicated fan bases for
Here.
and stuff.
What's wrong with my mic? Hold on. Okay, there we go. How's that sound, guys? Does it sound better? It should. Here, I'm gonna start posting all the links. Da 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 da. Fuentes is deep in the closet. You think so? I mean, probably. There was like a post that went viral today, and it was the states that have various anti-trans laws and also the popularity of trans porn, and there's like a big overlap. And I'm like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, things are more fun when they're banned. You know, too much
The
acceptance just makes it.
Republicans, they like the taboo.
Yeah, too much acceptance just makes it boring.
They don't, so they don't want a just be trad, but the woman has a dick.
Yeah, why not, dude? Does that sound great?
Just a weed field and just grow weed or grow wheats or whatever you want to grow, and
Yeah.
you spend all day plowing that pussy. You know.
Yeah, man. Have you seen that one picture of a Stolfo getting pregnant? You can just do that. That's how you expand the white race.
Based in trad pill.
Hold on. Let's see
Oh,
here. I think I've posted it everywhere now. So thanks everyone for showing up to the weekly sip. We had one super chat before the show started, which was just a question of when will the Tubcast be available on Google Podcast or other podcast platforms? I could do that, you know. I could like upload it as an audio file or something. Do those sites
oh
take
yeah, definitely.
do those sites take video? I'm not sure if they do. I don't know. Maybe. There's
I
like a
think they might by now.
there's a weird situation going on right now where like all forms of media seem to be kind of blending together. Like 10 years ago podcasts were just an audio recording. But now you can make podcasts with video and it's like, well, at that point, how is it any different from like just a regular YouTube video?
It's just podcast is when two people are talking or more.
Yeah, but that could be like a let's play.
And the more they talk, the more podcast it is.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Mm. Oh man, cold water. Oh, I don't know if I said this on the show or before the show started, but right now we're in the middle of a heat wave, and we have one. See, here's the thing: my house is too old to actually have like central air, so I bought one hyper powerful window unit, like more than enough to cool the whole house down, and we just put a bunch of fans around so it blows the air through the house, and so I'm currently just like sitting here and sweating in the heat. Man, it's supposed to rain tonight and break the heat wave. I hope it does.
I've
Jesus.
been seeing people talking about how like the heat wave is a myth or some shit.
The heat wave is a myth?
Yeah, or that it's a distraction from COVID and vaccines or whatever.
the only remotely the only
So is it a
remotely
myth?
no, it's not a myth.
You're
No.
feeling the myth?
No, I'm feeling it. The only remotely possible point of view that I've seen is that the heat wave is being it's being presented as an ahistorical event when it's not, in order to scaremonger. And let me see if I can show you exactly what I mean here. I have to head over to Gab, Torba's site. Jesus Christ, Gab takes for fucking forever to load. Come on, man. Turn your servers on, Andrew. Okay. So, on Sargon's Gab account, he posted this. And it's actually very interesting. I'll put it on the stream, and I'll send it to you in the DMs, Lilith. So, here, check this out. And I'll also put it up on stream, too. Okay. So, check it out. So, in 2017, that was the weather. And in 2022, that's the weather. And even though the numbers are like roughly the same, they change up how the map looks to make things look much worse. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm-hmm.
these are all Celsius numbers. So it's like 19, 20, 22, 22, 25. These are normal. These are normal summer figures. But yet it's like everything is red, and like it's getting to like dark red, and the entire continent's on fire, and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, news articles, that's what they do. They like to, or news stations, they like to sensationalize.
yeah. But things in terms of the climate. I mean, I'm not here being a climate denialist. All right, I like very clearly climate change is real, and very clearly we are affecting it. But I think that they're now pushing it so hard because it's become an easy vehicle to propagandize people and to get people like kind of scared and constantly engaged. As soon as fear mongering about COVID passed, they needed something else, and I think that's what's happening regarding the environment.
Maybe. I,
That's what it seems like to me, anyway. Because like I remember 20 years ago, these were pretty normal summer temperatures.
it
Hasn't it?
still is for me, more or less, but that's just because I grew up in the tropics.
Yeah,
I feel what people were complaining is just like, oh, it's 28 Celsius, but that's literally what we put on the AC back in Taiwan. Or
yeah,
some shit.
exactly. Like
Or not 28, but like something high. I forgot what it was. It's been a while.
there are,
Like,
yeah, there are issues that are coming with climate change. We can't deny those, but like making every single map deep red because everything is on fire and you're all going to just drown in climate lava. It's a bit much. You guys gotta calm the fuck down with that shit. Okay, hold on. Project Veritas released a clip of a CNN personnel explaining exactly that. It's not just you. Oh, really? Is that the case? Man, I kind of want to see that now. Project Veritas, like they're hyper sensationalistic,
mm-hmm.
and they sometimes have the ambulance chasing problem. But They have also revealed decent stuff. You know, it's happened. Let me see if I can find the video real quick. I'm not gonna spend this is not the point of this stream, so we're not gonna spend too much time on it. But I do want to see at least. Is there? Maybe I'll just search CNN and see if it pops up. Not in the front. Not in the front page. Oh well.
But yes, topic today.
Wait, you don't want to hang out for like the first half an hour and just lounge and relax?
Oh, as much as I like that, I think the viewers are starting to complain a bit too much about that.
Wait, are you guys complaining? Well, actually, here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna be on EFAP today in about 2.5 hours, so we can't actually go that late.
Yep.
Oh.
You have your thing coming up.
Yep, EFAP. Also, Naomi is like, I don't know if there was something in the sushi or what, but Naomi's like, oh, I feel terrible right now. We had that sushi. We had that sushi last night. It was. I enjoyed it. It was great. But she's like lying on the couch and groaning.
I miss sushi.
You miss sushi?
I want to just, yeah, I've just stuck at home. I haven't been going out.
Well, surely there's sushi
Or
in
as
California,
what
right? You can go get
There's
some.
sushi in California, but you have to go buy it, and then you have to go out, and then you have to spend money.
So wait, you don't want to go out and get it? Are you-
No, it's just we haven't had the time. It's just
Naomi
I
is
just
what
want
heat
to
does
spend
to a
some
Canadian.
afternoon.
Wait, what? Naomi is what heat does to a Canadian. What do you mean by that?
What did you mean by that?
Wait, Naomi's here. Hey, Naomi.
What?
How are you feeling?
Tired.
You okay?
Fine.
Okay, have fun. She didn't sound very good, eh?
It's just, yeah, baby. But then people say I'd never sound good. People say I would sound like I have a cold or some shit.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I don't know if it's like if it's hormones or if it's accent or what it is, but you do often sound like you have a cold. Like your nose is like slightly stuffed kind of all the time.
Maybe. It could just be a shape of my nose, or I could have some mild form of allergies every time.
Yeah.
I had really, really super bad allergies growing up in Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
Or it just could be an accent thing. IDK.
Yeah. Mervinu, $5. I finally caught a TubCast live. Thanks, Devin Lilith. Thanks for the $5, man.
Hey, thanks for catching us. And thanks for money and donation.
Oh, someone says it's because you're nasally when you're speaking. You have a nasally voice?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
I could
actually,
maybe talk to a doctor about
wait.
clearing the passage or something.
We can test this right now, okay? Pinch your nose and talk.
Okay, I'm talking with my nose closed.
Okay.
Is it worse?
It's worse. Okay, so now...
Yeah, see?
Hold on. Now try to force your voice out through your mouth instead of through your nose.
Hello. I don't know.
Well, you sounded less nasally there.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the
Maybe
thing.
I need to do some more voice training.
Like a lot of people who voice train to become singers, you realize very quickly that most people sing through their nose. And if you plug your nose, you can actually tell if you talk through your nose too, because I'm plugging mine right now, and it sounds different. But then if you force your voice out through your mouth while your nose is plugged, your voice shouldn't actually change too much. So this is one thing that you can kind of figure out really quickly. If you talk through your nose, plugging your nose, you can kind of find out really quickly. Let's see
Maybe.
here.
That's what I should do too. trained to have the radio voice or some shit.
The radio voice. Mr. Tickle
The
Trunk.
radio voice.
Mr. Tickle
Hi,
Trunk.
would you like to invest in the stock market? I'm not even sure if I'm doing a good job.
See, here's what's really funny is like people who don't like you, you know, they'll deride you for your voice, and it's like you don't have a masculine voice like whatsoever, like at all. There's a lot of trans people, they kind of like they work very hard to hide their masculine voice, but I actually don't think that you have one, like, entirely. I know you've tried to do them before and just failed horribly. So
Yeah.
um
Okay, let me try to do a Bell voice now.
okay.
Hello. Hello, Dev.
That sounds ridiculous.
How are you doing?
It sounds like extremely unnatural.
No, I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay. What if I did it with less effort and went with hello, Dev. What's going on?
I
Was
mean,
that better?
okay, now you sound like a girl's voice that has been artificially pitched down through like some kind of technology.
Dang it! I can't win. I can't pass as a guy anymore. No matter even if transphobes wants to take away my transitioning,
You're stuck.
I'm stuck. Oh no.
Okay, so here's some super chats came in. A Tickle Trunk for $2. Mall, supermarket, gas station, sushi, it's all bad. We went to a restaurant, actually, and it's usually a pretty good restaurant. We had like a date night last night. We did like dinner, and then we went out for a bit, and we came back and like lounged around. It was a nice night. Doomqueer, $5, thank you. Sup, Dev? Hope you have a good weekend and a good game suggestion. Try out World Box God Simulator. It's a great way to chill and nuke your tiny subjects. Okay. Thanks, Doomqueer. Appreciated. Wait, Doomqueer, were you the guy that paid us to play... Oh, fuck. Was it you or was it... I think... Somebody paid us to play Chibi Robo, and that was a good time. I think it was you. That was a good playthrough. Play Chibi Robo on stream. That's like a game that no one remembers anymore. Tricky Mario for $3. Thank you. You've got to correct the number from 19 to 12. Oh, thank you. You're right. This is TubCast 20, not 19. Gotta fix it. Hold on.
Exactly. Fixed.
Okay, I fixed it. There we go. Fixed.
Thank you, viewer.
Crow Raptor, $5. I love drugs. Okay. Thanks for the $5.
Yo.
Thanks for the $5, dude.
Sorry if you gave us money when you could have been buying more drugs. Nah, give us money so we can buy drugs. Just kidding. Or are we?
Lilith trying to sound masculine is funny. It's clear you aren't a man, so stop.
Thanks. Thank you, buddy. That's the thing, though. They want me to go into the men's bathroom, but if I did, it would make all the men uncomfortable.
That's just the beginning of a porn, unironically. Dude, okay.
In the future, in the dystopian world of bathroom laws.
I mean, like, I feel like I've seen at least one porn that starts either way. Like a trans woman is forced to go into the guy's restroom, or a trans woman is forced to go into the girl's restroom. And either way, that's like the setup for a porn that's on like Pornhub or something. It just seems to be like normal at this point.
Yeah, well, sounds like Pornhub.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Here. Okay. Jesus Christ. We're getting. Okay. Here. This will be my last derail. Okay. I promise we'll start soon. Okay. So, I was sent a porn by somebody like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was really surprised because it had a trans woman in it, but the trans woman was willing to play a male, like a man character in the porn, because the story of the porn was that there was this guy and this girl who were married, and then the guy went off to serve in the military, and then came back having transitioned. So for
Mhm.
like the first half of this porn, for the role, the trans woman porn actress is willing to play like a guy, and I'm like, I'm not sure there'd be that many trans women who'd be willing to do that, you know?
Um, I think Levine Cox from Orange is the New Black did that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, have you ever watched Orange is the New Black?
only the first season of it. I haven't really.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like a trans character in it, and during like one of the flashbacks, she would be like appearing as like a guy in the past, and it, a lot of these episodes would show like how these inmates got into prison in the first place, and like one of it showed like her past as a guy, and part of the plot is it has to deal with Living Cox's wife
Okay.
in a show trying to deal with her transitioning.
Okay. All right. I mean, fair enough. Yeah. It sounds like something that some people might be uncomfortable with doing, but hey, I guess they're
Yeah,
they're
well,
they're artists. They suffer for their art.
yep, there are there are actors and
Yes.
actresses.
Yep. So someone in the chat says, "So you do watch trans porn? Aren't you not interested in trans women?" I've been open about the fact that I'm bi this whole time. None of this stuff
Yeah.
bothers me. Yeah, I'm okay with it. And same with Naomi too. She's also bi. What the fuck is this podcast about? Whatever we want, baby. Whatever.
Usually, yes. Usually we go over topics like news. Lately we've been going through um a lot of demonetized topics, probably.
Yes, we do. Actually, today will also be a demonetized talk. You know, we've had enough preamble. We're going to get to the actual story in a minute. Today's topic will also be very demonetizable. So please consider supporting the channel through super chats or memberships or whatever else you like, okay? I would appreciate it if you don't mind. Because there's no way this VOD is getting monetized, guys. There's no fucking way for what we're about to go through.
Okay, enough doing a podcast where we cover current events.
Yep. Okay, let's see what we got. There are people in the chat going, sauce, sauce. I don't remember what it's called. Sorry, guys. It's been lost to time. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm trying to find what I'm doing here. Oh, hold on. Here. Lilith, talk to him for 2 minutes. I gotta do this real quick.
Alright. So I'm wondering if you guys would like to know what's going on today. We are gonna talk about the deadly Minneapolis standoff that well apparently a guy jeez, I'm not good at this, Dev. Not good at just keeping the whole thing by myself. What are you even doing?
I'm trying to set something up real quick.
Alright.
Hold on a second. Wait, did you retweet the advertisement for the show, Lilith?
Not yet. I shall do that.
Okay. I think I'm set. I think I'm good. All right. I think I'm good. I'm going to be able to... Here, I'll share my screen with you. Is it... Wait, what the fuck? It's this one. Okay. So you should be able to see what I'm doing. And I will also put this, like, over here, just in case. And I'll put this over here, just in case. Sorry, guys. I think we're good to go now, though. I'll put this over here, just in case. Okay. Demonetized, more like demonetized. Thanks, C. Thomas Peasant. Thank you.
Yes. Dev monetized.
Dev monetized. Okay, so how many of you guys in the chat know about the recent shooting in in Minneapolis about his name is Andrew Teckle Sundberg. Okay, you guys know You guys know what's going on? Wait, what does Dev have to say about her beloved cat mom Martyr? I mean, I know who Martyr is. She's a good person. But this is not a stream about Martyr, just because the word Martyr is in the name of the stream. There's like a small streamer called Martyr's Corner who does like VTube stuff, and she's alright. She's pretty cool. She's like a friend of a friend. So, but we're not talking about Martyr today. Not that kind of Martyr anyway. Here, let's see if I can pull this up. So, let's see if I can. Where the fuck? All right.
Imagine one day Dev will have the links ready.
One day. Okay. Here's the TLDR of the event. Okay. So, you have a 20-year-old named Andrew Teckle Sundberg. He's Ethiopian American. He was shot and killed by Minneapolis police last week. At 9:30 p.m., he was at an apartment building in the Seward neighborhood of Minneapolis. The Minneapolis police responded to reports of gunshots being fired from one apartment unit into another. Police that arrived on the scene observed more shots being fired through the walls, and they evacuated the apartment building. A 6-hour standoff ensued with Sundberg. And according to the police, he also shot at the officers. By about 4:30 a.m., so that is approximately 7 hours after the initial call, 2 police officer snipers fired their rifles, fatally wounding Sundberg, and the shooting is currently under investigation. And because it was the police shooting a black person in the United States, not to be too cynical about it, but I think this is the case, there was a whole bunch, at least initially, a whole bunch of like Black Lives Matter protesters, and people were complaining that this was like another George Floyd or who, you all know the story at this point, right? Where there was just people turned this into the next big political thing. All right, so that is the TLDR of the story.
There was some riots, not some riots. There was some protests, but like thankfully, no cities have been burned down.
Yeah. I mean, this is the same city I think that George Floyd happened in 2 years ago, right? So they were probably all on high alert. Yeah.
But yes, but as we shall see, this case, although there's nuance to be discussed, it's not quite a George Floyd. Definitely
not quite a George Floyd.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just.
Yes.
I'm gonna real quickly inject this into the thing.
So which article are we starting with today? That one?
I'm gonna start with this one here. I'm gonna bring it up real quick. You guys should be able to see this now. There we go. So this is the TLDR of what happened. Minneapolis police fatally shoot man during standoff. 2 officers fired rifles in the incident. And so they're doing the Teckle Sundberg. They're putting the candles out. You know, they got protesters doing their thing. I'm sure like Al Sharpton was on his way to take advantage of yet another shooting, because that's kind of his thing. And here is the shooter. Mr. Andrew Teckle Sundberg. So, the problem with turning this guy into the next George Floyd is that, like, I think the reason why George Floyd became the story that it did is because it was the perfect storm, right? Like, George Floyd was completely subdued. He was in police custody. The dramatic picture of the officer nonchalantly having his knee on his neck while the guy was like passing out. You know, it was a perfect storm to to basically have the entire nation rage against the police, and
Well,
every
it's for
single
good reasons.
yeah, yeah,
They murdered him.
yeah. I'm not saying that there's not good reasons in that, but like the activists, as activists tend to do, they overreached, and every single time something happened afterward, they wanted to make this person the next George Floyd. So like with Rayshard Brooks, who turned out to be like a child rapist, they tried to do it with him. With Jacob Blake, who turned out to be like kidnapping children, they did it with him. You know, so like it seems like it's a very like morbid way to view this. It seems like they're desperately looking for the next perfect victim. You know what I mean? To push their own narrative, and it's like, Jesus, guys, maybe the focus should be on stopping this stuff.
The focus should be stopping this stuff. It's instead of like finding the one martyr to do it.
Yeah,
I think like George Floyd. I don't like George Floyd was the case with him was just so egregious that like outside of like people who are most like pro Blue Lives Matter, or they're even they are, a lot of them were like, hey, they shouldn't have knelt on his neck for like that long. And it's just like, this is a clear case of like um a clear case of manslaughter, murder,
yeah.
which
But
three cops were charged
Mhm.
ultimately.
I know you and I disagree on some of the details of the George Floyd case, but we both still ultimately agree that the police were responsible. Like there are people in the chat talking about fentanyl. It's like, yes, guys, obviously fentanyl, and it is my fervent
What killed him, though?
it is my fervent belief that George Floyd overdosed, but he was also in police custody, and the police made the overdose worse, which is why the police are responsible. All right, like when you are arrested by the cops, suddenly they have like they have a heightened duty to you because you are now no longer under your own power, and that's how it is legally. That's how it should be legally. So no, the police made an overdose situation worse with their actions. I mean, who knows? Maybe he could have been saved if that didn't happen.
I don't think fentanyl was what killed him.
Oh, I do.
According to the coroners, the fentanyl levels in his system was like, especially for a regular user, was intolerable levels.
I'm pretty sure they were like 4 times the amount that's normal. like four times the amount that to kill a person, and also that
Yes,
also
but I have
his
4 times the amount of cannabis in me.
Oh yeah, right now.
Not right now. I was just saying if like tolerance level wise.
But also, here's the thing: the coroner report mentioned things that killed him, and the things that they mentioned were symptoms of fentanyl overdose. So it seems to be the case that fentanyl played a role in his death. We just don't know how much of a role and how much it was exacerbated by police action. I think it was exacerbated quite a bit by police action. Here, guys, we will read super chat. Hold on, you know what? I'll read this one final super chat, then we'll have a pause in super chats till the first break. Okay. Tricky Mario, $8. Thank you. Heard about this one. I told my black female friend about this, and even she thought the protests were absurd. Minneapolis Police Department can't catch a break lately. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so this is what happened.
We're not here to argue about George Floyd, though. He was murdered, and a story.
That sounds like opening an argument.
Nope, that's a closing argument.
Here's the thing, chat. Here's the thing. Even if you don't want to agree he was murdered, I think if you think that the cops didn't have anything to do with it, you are like, you are so far out to lunch. They did. It's irrefutable. The cops had something to do with it. Like, come on. Anyway, this is what happened with Andrew Tekel Sunderberg. Okay, and they tried to make him into the next martyr, and it didn't work out. So the
Probably has something to do with the fact that he shot multiple times into a different apartment.
yes, yeah,
But
there was
yes,
a lot of these
but
articles.
yes.
A lot of these early articles are talking about like, oh, it's a black guy who was shot by the cops, and oh my god, like what happened? Like, a lot of this early stuff is the kind of stuff that would feed into a protest narrative. All right, a lot of these earlier articles. However, as we get on with it, let me just quickly see here. Yeah. So firstly, what we should probably this is a couple days after there was a live stream where somebody across the way was streaming Sundberg hanging out on, looks like outside a window or on a porch or something, and yeah, standing on the ledge of his third floor apartment window. A live stream of the standoff between Tekel Sundberg and Minneapolis police captured a heart-wrenching moment where Sundberg's father begged his son to talk to police negotiators only 2 hours before he was fatally shot. Can we actually watch that? Oh, maybe we can. Let's see. Oh, come on, Twitter. It's quiet. Yeah, that's really quiet, but still, you can kind of make it out. It's his dad trying to talk him down. So this is at 2:10 a.m. By that time, police had spent the last 2 hours repeatedly asking Sundberg to pick up his phone and speak with negotiators. So, damn, dude.
That's rough.
Yeah. So at 9:30, he was shooting up the apartment complex. By 2:10 a.m., he wasn't firing anymore, but the apartment complex had been evacuated. He was holed up in there, and he was negotiating, or the police were trying to negotiate with him. You guys couldn't hear it here. Okay, I'm gonna mute you, Lilith, real quick, because it comes through the same audio track as you. So I'll mute you. Wait, can I mute you? Oh shit. Here, Lilith, do me a favor and don't talk for a minute. It comes through the same audio track. I want to turn it up really loud. Okay, here we go. That's as loud as I can make it. Okay, so there. That's as loud as I can make it, guys. All right, Lilith, you can come back.
You sure you want me back?
Yes.
Nah, joking.
The entire chat was like, the woman's been silenced.
Sexism.
I'm a bigot. Okay, so that happened at 2:10. They were trying to wait. At around midnight, he gestured to officers and spoke quickly and mostly unintelligibly, at one point repeating the word no before going back into the apartment. 20 minutes later, he stepped out again to take several selfies before returning to the apartment. Jesus Christ, guys.
So it looks like he was having a mental breakdown.
It does.
Sounds like.
Yeah, at least partially, yeah. So, man. Is this like a timeline here? That's what it looks like, yeah. This is a 2-hour live stream. Is this all 2 hours? Jesus, it is. You know what? Let's just sit here and watch every single minute of this.
Sure. That's torture chat.
Here. We don't gotta watch every single minute, but like here's the key moments. All right. So at 2:28, there's a police drone. 2:29, MPD tells Sundberg they're trying to call him and ask him to pick up the phone. 4:46 says that Sundberg tells the officers that they had lied to him. Someone talking on the phone. At 6:30, the MPD officer makes the first of what will be many announcements saying that police have a search warrant for his apartment. You're under arrest. Come to the apartment with your hands in the air. Ask him to pick up the phone. He won't pick up the phone. He has a search warrant. Sundberg steps back out into the ledge, appears to take several selfies as a police drone hovers nearby. A man yells in an emotional voice, "Jesus Christ, just answer the phone. We all just want to get along." It's unclear whether it's a bystander or an MPD officer. Probably a bystander. That's what it sounds like. They keep telling him to pick up his phone, pick up his phone, pick up his phone. Search warrant, phone. Okay. 2 officers are visible by the front entrance of the building, with one leaning against a wall. Sundberg opens the window and the officer repeats a message about the phone. He momentarily disappears from view, but then moves the blinds to the side and can be seen on the other side of the glass. He appears to be moving his arm, but the image is blurry. A short time later, he appears to slide the window shut again. Yep, they're calling. Warrant. His dad had called him. Answer phone. Yep, there's a lot of this stuff is just repeating. Just trying to get this guy to talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is when his father appears in the loudspeaker.
Let's see how he. I don't know. This must have been a really freaking bad mental breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. If I get bothered by the phone call like a few times, I just pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's from a scammer.
Yep.
Maybe it showed up as a scam call on his phone, and that's why he didn't pick it up.
Oh yeah. By the end,
Maybe the one time he answered, it was just somebody going, "We tried to reach you about your car's extended warranty," or "You want a free vacation."
So, by the end, a group of officers are getting to the entrance of the building. They have some kind of shield. There's 6 of them. That's probably SWAT preparing to go in at this point. But yeah, so this was the timeline of at least this stream. Now the stream didn't get to the part where he died. The stream was cut off before then.
The live streamer ends his podcast before the police killed him.
Yes. And Tekel Sundberg's family say that he was having a mental health crisis when Minneapolis police killed him. They criticize the police negotiations. Now this is the kind of thing that... Oh, go on.
Sorry, I do have a thing before we read this, because a question I have floating at the back of my mind was, yes, he did shoot up his neighbors, and he appeared to be a danger then, but then they evacuated the neighbors. Mm-hmm. And then they tried to negotiate with him for hours afterwards. Mm-hmm. Was he a danger when they shot him? I guess that's the poignant thing here.
Yep, we'll get to that in a bit, because there's definitely evidence that he was. The reason that they shot him is because he pulled out a gun again.
Okay.
He stopped fucking around in the apartment, he stopped taking selfies, and he went to the window and pulled out a gun, and so they shot him.
Okay, because I haven't seen a lot of these articles. They don't go through that part.
Yep, we will definitely get to it. That's for sure. Let's see here. So Tekel Sundberg's family say he was having a mental health crisis when Minneapolis killed him. They criticize the negotiations. Okay, so
because like if he wasn't a danger to others, then obviously it was a justified shooting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't, then obviously the police have room for improvement.
Right. Obviously, yeah. So
that's the main thing here.
This position is, I mean, regardless of whether or not it's true, it's the kind of thing that I don't blame the family of a recently shot man to say. You know, like,
yeah.
It's one thing when an idiot on Twitter is like, he was a good boy, he was black, so therefore he's innocent. You can tell by looking at his skin color. You know, like, those people are ridiculous. But, you know, even if this guy is objectively wrong and deserved to get shot, his family is going to say he was a good boy, and we expect them to, and we can sympathize with their grief, and it's normal for them to say that. Like we don't need to come down hard on the family of this guy, you know? Like they're
Yes.
they're grieving.
They're already in enough pain.
Yeah. So they say that he was having a mental health crisis in his apartment complex when 2 snipers shot him. And the family is outraged because he shouldn't have died like this. And, to be fair, he shouldn't have. But, at some point... oh, no! To continue reading this article for free! At some point... You see, a mental health crisis should not be a death sentence. I mean, yeah, fair enough. But waving a gun around and shooting into your neighbor's apartment is, it kind of... There's a line here where we can be like...
Not that though. I don't think doing that doesn't warrant that sentence. If he was a danger to others during the standoff, and if he was an immediate danger, then yes.
Yes, yeah. Someone in the chat says his parents did say he was shot because he was black. Yeah, but here's the thing: even though that's factually incorrect, I am willing to give parents of a recently dead child a pass on that one. They're not correct, but I'm not gonna be like, look how stupid these guys are. No, just let them grieve. Let them grieve. It's dumb for other people to say it, but these people are going through it. I'm just gonna let them be, So, the family is requesting that police immediately release body cam footage to them. Okay, and we do have body cam footage that we're looking at a little bit later, but basically, this whole situation is basically what you would expect from a grieving family to say, whether or not it's accurate. And yes, the family is calling for release of the police a video of police shooting. Here's the thing: the issue with a lot of this stuff is there is that big push 5 to 10 years ago to get every cop to wear body cams, and that has backfired in BLM's face. Because these body cams are overwhelmingly showing these shootings to be justified. So, I don't know. We're gonna see what the body cam footage looks like. Okay.
I think body cam footage helps everybody, because if the shooting was justified, it should hopefully deter riots.
I agree, but here's the thing: the most radical people, they don't want justified shootings; they want riots. And so, to them, having the waters muddied a little bit is actually better for their cause.
Oh yeah, where people just want to smash shit and steal shit.
Yeah.
And then obviously.
Yep. So.
But for people who actually want police reform, they should be happy that the police all have body cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, during a rally, so the next day there was a rally for Andrew Teckle Sundberg. The neighbor expresses frustration that he shot into her apartment. So, we're going to watch that video.
This is a video that went viral.
This is the video that went viral. So, there was a BLM demonstration in the area after Teckle Sundberg's shooting or killing. And they were out there protesting, Black Lives Matter. How many more times does this have to happen? You know what's going on. And the woman who lived next door to him, whose apartment was shot up, went out there and fucking blew up at these guys. And I mean, fair enough, right? Jesus Christ. Yeah. I probably feel the same way.
It's the family is understandable. This woman's quite understandable as well.
Yeah. So I think we can actually see some of the demonstrations here. Let's watch these real quick. Are these the demonstrations? Yeah. So here we go.
Concerns heard as well.
We're just here to respect life, demand justice.
This is not okay!
What started as an afternoon rally with demands for justice and calls for the body cam footage to be released in the police shooting death of Andrew Teckle Sundberg quickly boiled over into anger and frustration when 24-year-old Arabella Yarbrough showed up.
If I'm gonna die, will he be a bad guy then? For 3 years I've lived here, and none of you guys have done anything.
Oh shit, I have it on double speed, sorry. Sorry.
I'm loud.
I watch it. Hold on. I watch everything on YouTube double speed. I watch everything double speed, so I don't even notice anymore. Here, sorry. Let's go back a bit.
How could you not notice it?
I've just gotten used to it. I'm just
she was speaking like that meme with the guy tries to explain stuff really fast.
Tekle Sundberg quickly boiled over into anger and frustration when 24-year-old
Wait, was that
Arabella
Kyle
Yarbrough
Rittenhouse?
Was Kyle Rittenhouse here?
showed
Hold on, let's
It
see.
looked, some person looked like Kyle Rittenhouse in front.
Where? This guy?
In front, yeah.
He's got the hat.
anger and
He's got looks like he has like a gun there.
frustration when 24-year-old Arabella Yarbrough showed up.
If I would've died, would he be a bad guy then? For 3 years I lived here, and none of you guys knocked on that man's door to see if he was okay. Not at all. He played loud music every day to cope with his mindset.
Yarbrough says
Damn.
she's the woman who initially called police stating Tekle was shooting into her apartment with her 2 kids inside Wednesday night. Pictures of bullet holes from inside her apartment capturing the damage.
Jesus
It's
Jesus
sorry he
Christ.
lost his life, but he has 6 hours to choose that. I had 2 to 5 minutes to choose life or death.
Yarbrough says she had a few run-ins with Tekle and thought their differences were settled.
When someone is stalking you, threatening you, I left it alone. I could have called the police and reported it, but then I would have put a black innocent man in jail because of mental illness, and ain't no telling what would have happened. So I left it alone.
The trauma of this event now weighing heavily on members of the community.
His family took everything that they could and did everything that they could to help him. He has so many brothers and sisters that love him.
And his parents who say they adopted him when he was 4 years old.
She had the courage to come down here and speak her mind, and she has every right to do that.
Tekle is an imperfect human, as we're all imperfect humans.
Jesus Christ. Hold on.
He did not.
Like, I understand you're the mother, I get it, but like he shot into the fucking apartment. Like so all these people, they're doing the big BLM march and they got their megaphones out and they're doing like this is not the guy you want to do this for. All right? This is not the guy. This is not the time. This is not like look at this. This is not the dude that you want to make your martyr. Okay? Look at the damage here. And she was in this apartment with her 2 kids. You know? This is not the person. And in fact, I think this is just the same. This is like a very similar clip. Yeah, it's the same clip. So I think there was the viral clip. And let's see. Hold on. Where was it? Hold on.
Get your links ready.
This one. This is the actual
That one.
viral clip. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Things boiled over during Saturday's rally and march for Tekle Sundberg, where the 24-year-old woman who was said he was shooting into her apartment showed up voicing her frustration. All right. Let's watch it, guys.
Can't get my idols because you guys are celebrating his life.
It was a terror. I'm sure it was
This is not okay.
You're alive.
Not
Shut up.
You guys have
Jesus!
to let it go. Grief in silence. This is not okay. This is not a George Floyd situation. George Floyd was unarmed. He was unarmed.
You're alive.
This is not okay. My kids have to deal with this and probably have a mental illness now because they almost lost their life. There's bullet holes in my kitchen
Not in
because
you,
he
though.
sat in the fucking hallway watching my move. I wish it never happened either. I don't have a place to call home. I can't sleep that night.
She's obviously going through a moment.
This is not okay.
This is what they want to show on the TV. She's obviously going through a moment.
This is not okay. Just go home. Go home. Just
Jesus.
You guys knocked on that man's door to check his health.
And they're just telling her to shut up. Jesus. Fuck.
He killed me, tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front.
Fuck, dude. Like, she's clearly having her own mental break. But, like, just the callousness from, like, here, at the start, these people are like, we understand it's rough for you. Like, these are the parents, so, okay, whatever. We understand it's rough for you. And then, like, people are, People are being
Yeah, the
understanding.
parents were being pretty understanding.
And then by the second half, you get
other people have
people
stepped in,
yeah,
and
they're coming in and they're saying shit like, "Shut up! This is not the time. Fuck you." You know, like I for at least some of these people here, they don't give a shit about her. About her, they don't give a shit about the person who got shot, the guy. They only care. They only care about how this affects their narrative. And it's fucking disgusting. And you can tell by the way some of these people treat her near the end. It's fucking disgusting.
yeah, I don't think that's cool.
Fuck. Damn, guys.
It's just like I understand the parents were grieving. Like I understand she just had a very traumatic experience. Like gunshots went into her apartment, and yeah, I can understand why she's upset.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Here, let's read a few supers before we go to the next part. $2 from C. Thomas Peasant. The soullessness of the leftist movement is cancer. Thanks for the $2, man. $20 from Brother Doom. Thank you very much. In regards to the video of the woman arguing with the protesters, I spent a lot of time studying cults and religions to understand their fundamental differences. In case you need to be told, BLM is a cult. Yeah, I could pretty much agree with that at this point. The things that I've seen, I think it is. Schnitzel the Rock Monster, $2. Not all are martyrs. What if it's in their name? Yeah, I know what you're referencing, Schnitzel. We're not talking about that martyr right now, okay? Thank you,
So
though.
I wanna make it very clear. Like,
What's up?
What boils it down is whether or not the snipers, when they shot him, like, was he an immediate danger to others?
Yep.
Ultimately, for this case.
Yep, we'll be getting to that because I do have stuff on that. Yeah.
I don't think the fact that although this woman is very traumatized, I don't think the fact that him shooting into her apartment, although it really it's I'm not defending him at all. I don't think it's worth it, like getting killed by that alone, unless he's in danger to others, because by that time, as we've seen,
it already passed.
Yeah, it's already passed. Yeah. Everybody has been evacuated. So he should have never done that.
Yeah,
obviously, but he obviously had a lot of mental issues.
Mm-hmm. So let me see if I can parse what you're saying. It's something like, if the cops were there the moment that he was shooting into her apartment, then they would have been completely justified in gunning him down because he was committing that act. But by the time the cops got there, he was already isolated and he was no longer doing that. So he only re-became a threat when he grabbed his gun.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
and I think without knowing that fact, people could say, "Oh, there was a standoff," but if I think that comes down to news stations not doing the due diligence and reporting accurately. If he was a danger when he was shot.
Maybe, but I think a lot of this is just ideological capture. A lot of these people don't care; they just see it as an opportunity. Like this woman that she was arguing with here, I think she's like that, where she doesn't give a shit. She's here for what she already has in her head. She doesn't care about the truth. Hold on though, Archean for $10. Thank you, Dev. Your video yesterday really freaked me the fuck out. I lost 6 years of my life to a guardianship, and your video reminded me of all the transitional life events that I had missed out on. Well, thanks for the $10, dude. I hope things get better for you, man. Okay, that's the supers for now. Thanks, guys, for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. Like I said, this stream's not getting monetized, so super chats help quite a bit. Let's see very quickly what's going on here. Okay, so I do have a short section on the public persona of this guy. So what people on the right like to do is whenever there's a black person who gets shot by the cops, right? They inevitably find on his social media a picture like this, where he's posing with guns and drugs and money, and it's like, well, this guy deserved to get shot. And it's like, well, this alone. Hold on, wait, Lilith, you have your?
Yeah, I'm still here.
No, I can hear my voice through your speakers.
Oh.
Yes.
Was,
Test. Yes, I can hear it.
uh.
Do you have headphones or?
I have headphones.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it better?
Yes, I think so. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's a lot of pictures like this that come out, and whenever there was a black guy killed by cops, people on the right always find pictures like this, and then go like, this guy was clearly a gangster. He was clearly a thug. Like, who cares if he got shot? And it's like, well, I don't believe that weed should be illegal, and I don't think that in a country with a Second Amendment, posing with your guns is that bad. All right, guys?
Yeah.
I know not everyone on the right,
Seems-
but at least some people on the right. Not everyone. You're right. Not everyone on the right, but some people on the right do this, and I don't think it's a legitimate line of argumentation to go down. Okay?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, people are like, oh, look, he was a gangster. They look at him posing with a gun. It's just like,
Yeah.
But then like, white people pose with guns all the time.
All the time.
With their families.
Yep.
And like
in front of like something they just killed, like out in the bush or something. Yeah. So I don't view this as being any kind of argument, in my opinion. However,
okay, so he exercises his Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, there are a few arguments about his character that we can make, though. So, I know you have your own reasons for disliking libs of TikTok, but one thing that libs of TikTok does is document stuff that is actually happening, and good on him for that. So, here's Tekel Sundberg's TikTok account. All right, where he said some pretty.
My problem is they don't report on like groomings when it's not relevant to their political agenda. Like like that case with like the teacher grooming their kids.
No, I agree. They have very clearly a bias against the left, so they ignore grooming coming from the right. So I get you there.
Or grooming coming from just
anyone.
places that are not explicitly LGBT or stuff.
So this is
like, I've had people I've had mutuals getting like blocked by them for asking them to report on actual grooming.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. But nonetheless, what they do actually report on is still true, so they are useful as a source of information. You just can't ideologically follow them, in my opinion. So this is from Tekel's Andrew Tekel Sundberg's TikTok account. So let's just take a quick watch here.
I don't know how you hoes be doing it. Me personally, if a bitch came to me as a woman, I'm coming to her as a bullet. I don't know how you.
So
what?
Yeah.
If
I don't think that warrants his death either, though.
No, but it does at least speak to his character. Okay, it doesn't warrant like people of poor character can still not deserve to die, but it does speak to his character and why it might lead him to go down a path where he ends up doing some things, and yeah, I just thought this is the attorney for the family, Ben Crump. This is Tekel Sundberg, Minneapolis Police Department, killed the smart, loving, and artistic 20-year-old after an hours-long standoff. He was experiencing a mental health crisis. We need answers from MPD as to why Tekel's mental health crisis became a death sentence. I mean, part of it might be the fact that he had a gun and was shooting into other apartments and shooting at the cops. I mean, maybe that's the reason. I know he has a role to play. He's the attorney on the other side. He has to say stuff like this, but as we go on, it will become more and more blatant that this guy was in fact in the wrong. Okay? So that's right.
Well, we know he's in the wrong for shooting into our apartment.
Yes.
But I want to make it clear: him shooting into the apartments alone does not warrant the death. What did was during his standoff, if he was a danger to the police or others.
It would have warranted the death.
It would have if he
was attacked at the
and
point.
if he was an immediate danger to others.
Yeah, like here to make it more clear, chat. Like if I went and I shot a place up and then I went home. Okay, I shot a place up, I went home, and then like the next day the cops came over and arrested me. they wouldn't be, and I was just sitting there with no guns on me, they wouldn't be justified in killing me right then, even though I just shot up a place the previous day, right? Because in that moment, I'm not a threat. They're justified in arresting me and then bringing me to trial for what I did, but they're not justified in killing me then.
That's what they would have been justified in doing.
Yeah. However, if the cops showed up while I was shooting, then they're justified in shooting me to stop me. So it's
if the cops showed up the next day and then you were like, "You'll never take me alive,"
yeah,
and then
exactly.
start shooting at them, then they'd be justified.
Yeah, I disagree that 100% warrants getting shot. No, it doesn't. Because, like, if you shoot up a place and then get away, and then the cops find you the next day, and you're not shooting up a place at that moment, they have the grounds to arrest you but not to shoot you. Because,
yes.
Oh yeah, they would be rolling up with guns drawn. Yes, they would. But they don't have grounds to shoot you unless you shoot them first. Wait, Lilith? Did you put in your headphones?
I have my headphones.
I can still kind of hear you somehow. Or hear myself.
Weird.
Dun dun dun.
Let's try setting 3. Okay. Is this better?
Lilith was caught in 4K.
Having wearing headphones?
For saying you were wearing them but not wearing them.
I'm wearing them.
Okay, so this was part of the protest that was going on. You got BLM people coming down. People with their megaphones are doing their thing. There's more photos of the damage, like the damage done. Jesus Christ! Like this is he just shot into our apartment with the door closed. Like fuck, dude. Fuck. Like that's fucked.
That is fucked. Now, if the cops had showed up immediately while he was shooting into the apartment and had stopped him,
yes, that would be justified.
Then they would have been justified.
Yeah.
I think there was some confusion and like.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So before we get into the actual sniper part of the conversation, we should talk about the GoFundMe stuff real quick, okay? So. GoFundMe has allowed a page for Minneapolis gunman Andrew Sundberg after axing one for the NYC bodega clerk Jose Alba. So, Jose Alba was the guy who stabbed another dude in self-defense. This was a story I covered in the Weekly Sip because there wasn't much to it. But he had a GoFundMe for his legal defense, but because he was charged with killing someone, even though it was self-defense, he'll probably get off in self-defense. He was charged with killing someone. GoFundMe took it down. And for the same reason, you can see here, this is the Kyle Rittenhouse comparison. People are comparing GoFundMe's actions to these other groups because Andrew Tekel Sundberg's GoFundMe hit $20,000. Do I have it right here? Right. Yeah. The GoFundMe honoring Tekel and funeral expenses hit nearly $20,000. Even though he was the perpetrator of this event. And people are saying, you have these instances. They use the New York bodega guy and they use Kyle Rittenhouse as instances where they were in self-defense, but GoFundMe banned their projects. And there are people on the right who are, again, angry about this, and I understand. But there is a difference here that is important. And the difference is that this is like those two cases are for the legal defense of living people who have been charged with killing someone. Now Kyle Rittenhouse got off in self-defense, and the bodega guy will probably get off in self-defense too. But GoFundMe has a rule where if you're charged with killing someone, whether or not that's whether or not that ends up being a valid charge, if you're charged with killing someone, you can't raise defense funds on GoFundMe, which is why after the trial, Kyle Rittenhouse's GoFundMe was in fact restored. The difference here, the difference here is that Tekel's account here is not for his defense. He's already dead. It's for funeral expenses and honoring him, which honestly just sounds like a cash grab, but still, it's a cash grab that you are allowed to do under GoFundMe's rules.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the bodega guy had his self-defense charge dropped. Okay, nice.
Good.
Good, yeah. You
Good,
saw,
good, good.
you saw
I'm
that story.
glad.
You saw
And
that
maybe
story,
the
right?
bodega guy can have a GoFundMe now too.
Yeah. You saw that story though, right? Where like a guy came
I
in trying
did.
to like rob him and he just stabbed him in the gut. He's like, "Fuck you."
Blatant self-defense. Blatant
Yes.
self-defense.
Yes. So people were complaining for a while because her GoFundMe, this woman who got shot up and is complaining here in this video, her GoFundMe was lagging far behind Tekel's GoFundMe, but that has since reversed. She now has 30,000. I think she now has $71,000. Like people, yeah, as more details have come out, people have begun to basically take her side on this one. And actually, I think the heat was so strong. Yeah, it's 404 not found. Tekel's GoFundMe is now gone. I think the person who ran it just deleted it because like as time has gone on, this has become more and more of a blatant situation where he was in the wrong. So the GoFundMe bit was like a side story. Everyone was outraged about the GoFundMe thing where he was raising more money than her. But as soon as that reversed and things kind of righted itself, people stopped paying attention. So I wanted to correct the record at least. Don't worry, things are still okay. Things are still okay on GoFundMe. Justice eventually worked its way through to a proper conclusion. Everything's fine, okay? All right. It's time for the body cam footage, guys. Because the police story has always been that towards the end of the standoff, Sundberg would take would pull out his gun, he would shoot at the cops, and then the police snipers would shoot him. And that was always their official stance on the matter. And they released body cam footage to basically prove that correct. Yep. The footage released on Wednesday afternoon shows officers under fire. But, unfortunately, their body cameras failed to capture Sundberg's last moments. Dun dun dun. But nonetheless, everyone, like there was a crowd there, they were watching, they all saw him pull out a gun and get sniper shot. So it's not like this was something that was hiding, but it's because the police hadn't made it to him before the snipers took their shot. Also, we can't play that on YouTube anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we can't play a video of this guy getting blown away. That would get my channel banned, let alone demonetized. But, let's see. According to investigators, Sundberg fired multiple rounds inside the Seward neighborhood. Okay, the apartment building. The neighbor, Arabella Yarbrough, called 911 saying a bullet went through her wall. Yarbrough and her sons made it out of the apartment building. At 4:30 a.m., 2 snipers shot him, fatally wounding him. He died at the hospital. So police showed reporters a 15-minute edited video, a compilation of about 100 hours of body-worn police camera footage. 4 minutes after an officer arrives on scene, you can hear 3 gunshots fired through the apartment door. Police department, shots fired, shooting through the door. So they went in, it looks like, and got shot at by him. Minutes later, the police were able to get Yarbrough and her children out of the apartment safely. They're trying to talk to him to get him to come out peacefully. They couldn't. The end of the video shows SWAT team officers positioned on a rooftop across the street. Both officers are heard saying gun before one of them fires 2 rounds. So he had a gun, and they shot him. All right, so I do have the footage. Please be advised, this portion of this following footage include graphic images and language. Yes, so this will be what gets this video demonetized, guys. So thank you for the super chats. I do appreciate it. Let's check it out. Here we go. Active shooter situation. Yep. Okay. Jesus. This is a longer pre-roll than our shows. You can see it, eh, Lilith?
Yes.
Okay. Are they using Google Maps in here? Okay. All right, so there's the apartment. There's the apartment. Yep. Okay. Okay. Jesus, there's just... Okay, here's where... We already know what happened. We're going to skip ahead to the actual footage.
My partner's in the ambulance? Yeah, I got more partners coming. Okay, alright.
Doxing the shooter post-mortem. So it looks like they're in the lobby. Oh. Cops are getting shot at. Gets shot at, casually knocks.
Well, Lilith admits she was wrong. I was never wrong. I said if he was...
Hold on.
I said if he was, yeah.
Yeah, we'll respond to the chat after this.
I'll explain, after, yeah.
341. If you want to have the caller come to the north side stairwell and open the door.
Copy, however, right now he's having somebody banging at his door like they're trying to get in. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get out.
Yeah, that's me.
That's me.
Police! Police! Police department! Ah! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Jesus. Shooting through the fucking door.
Shots fired inside the north stairwell. I'm not hit, but they're shooting through the door.
Copy, officer needs help, 904 21st Avenue South, responding SWAT to channel 1.
Holy fuck.
Upstairs! 3 fucking bullets. 303, keep the airplane. I'm with them. Right here? Yeah, right there. Fucking. Okay. Police!
Don't hurt the cat, guys. Don't hurt the cat.
You're over. Police!
Well, haven't they evacuated the cat?
Come on,
What's
stay
wrong
back,
with
stay
them?
back, stay back. Close the door.
Oh, the cat ran away. Good.
Hey! Go to the south side. Go to the south side. Hey, you guys stay here. Send everybody else. Hey, hands! Hands! Give me your fucking hands! Come here! Where?
Jesus Christ.
So this is the beginning? Before they evacuated?
Before they got her out, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, find out. On the right or left?
I'm in here! I'm in here! Yes!
Is he in there?
No!
Hey, kids, come here, kids, come here! Come here!
Come on, come on,
Come here!
come on.
Run, kids, run.
Come on. Come on, little man. Get the kids outside. Yeah, get in front, cover this. I don't know. It's right there. It's the bullet came through there. Let's go outside. 304.
Jesus Christ.
303. Get me a rifle or two up here. Shots are coming from apartment 318 on the northeast corner. Police!
Shots from 318 northeast corner.
Yeah, the cops are doing a good job so far.
Yes.
You got a rifle? Get it on that door. 318. Use that cover. 318. I need. Get a fucking barricade or something.
Fuck. Yeah. The tactical head pat. I saw that too, guys.
Okay. On the inside? Get him inside of the squad. 307. Please bring me a shield, and if we got a reason, please. Yeah. Just fucking stand.
All right. So that was the first. Yeah, he shot through the door.
So my point was always, if they had shot him during when he was shooting, it would be justified.
But if he stopped shooting.
But if he stopped shooting, and then they shot him during a standoff for no reason, then it wouldn't be justified.
Yes, yeah,
I agree. But if he was
that.
a danger during the standoff, then yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not retracting anything. I wasn't wrong.
Yep. Nope. I completely agree with you.
But yes, they should have evacuated everybody. The kitty cat first.
Evacuate all cats first. Okay, so that was the first encounter with them. He had already shot at the cops. So let's.
Yes.
Here's the second encounter with him here, and I think this is the one where he dies. So they have the SWAT team outside, ready to go in.
Come out your apartment door with your hands up.
There he is.
How? You already knew.
Why don't you come out your apartment door with your hands up? You're under arrest. We're not going anywhere.
I'm literally speaking in it. Because I looked at you, you understood the voice.
Come on outside. Come out your apartment with your hands up.
I don't care.
We're not going anywhere. You're under arrest.
He doesn't die, then he can't speak. We already changed for exactly what he wanted. So that's
come out the apartment with your hands up.
Yeah, it sounds like he's having a mental break, yeah.
Go out the apartment door, keep your hands up. You're under arrest. We're not going anywhere. Mr. Sundberg, we need you to come out and cooperate with us. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to go home. We want to make sure you get the help you need. Come on out. Come on out.
No, you're weird. Why? I would let them call it. Oh, no, I did. That's what I should like now.
Sir, can you come out your apartment door with your hands up? You're under arrest. 109, he's talking to somebody on the phone. He's very uncooperative with me trying to tell him to come out the apartment door with his hands up. Come on, come out your apartment door with your hands up.
Who you are before I let her shoot. Bitch, you think she
Minneapolis police, you're under arrest. Come out with your hands up.
Yeah, hold on, real quick. So the chat is saying that we're wrong about this. Okay, chat. If we're wrong about this, why aren't the cops just shooting him right now?
Yeah.
Because at this point, he's not the same level of threat.
Our apartments.
Yeah.
I mean, if the chat thinks he deserves to die for that alone, then well, they should shoot him now.
Well, I'm not even going to make a moral claim like he deserves to die. I'm just going to say, in terms of police procedure, why are they trying to talk him down and not just shooting him now? The answer is obvious, because even though he was shooting before, now he's clearly not. And they want to de-escalate the situation and get him into custody so that he doesn't shoot anymore.
They're doing the right thing here in this video, yes.
Yes. So the chat's saying, because he doesn't have a gun. Yes, exactly. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. He shot before. He's not shooting now. He's not dangerous at this moment, which is why they don't just shoot him. You are literally holding the same position as we are. You're just being retarded about it. So come on, guys, chill out. Okay?
Yeah, it's very simple. Immediate danger, immediate solution. Otherwise, you try to de-escalate.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be like something a social worker? Exactly. No, that's not what I'm saying. If he is calm, then obviously the social worker is the best course of action. But if he's not,
I don't even agree with that. No.
People are just being retarded.
Hold on, Lilith. I'm not going to go on the Vosh train of only send social workers. That is retarded.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like people trying to talk him down is a good thing. It doesn't really have to be a social worker. It's just anybody trying to de-escalate. This is the right course of action.
Yes, this is currently the right.
It feels like the chat wants. We're like, oh, he shot at the cops. They should have just stormed in and killed him.
Here's the thing, Jimbo. I don't think Lilith is running defense for this guy, because don't worry.
I am not running defense for the guy.
Yeah.
I'm saying I want to make sure the police did their due diligence.
Well, here's the thing. We have 4 minutes to go, and by the end of this video, we're all gonna agree. So just chill out, guys. Seriously, it's okay. Listen, not every stream has to be a fight. Come on, guys. All right.
There's just people who come on here if I'm looking for a fight. Ignore them.
No, I have fun. I like these guys. Let's go, though.
What's his name again? What's his first name? Andrew. Andrew, come out your apartment with your hands up. You're under arrest. It's Minneapolis police.
You didn't even have the respect to shoot you behind. No, you would have shot you just because of the doctor. And now look at you, giving yourself respect because now you gotta fuck yourself in the ass if you don't want to make all the. Oh no, this phone call was the only chance of showing honor. And what Abrams' take was, he was a terrorist before he was terror because he knew what Iceland.
109, he's threatening to shoot the officers and he's breaking up some more of his windows.
All right.
Hey, Conan, just make sure you are not exposing.
I hope the cat got out.
We don't even need to be in. We don't even need to be out there at all. That's what we got APU for. It's so hot. In fact, Conan, why don't I have you go over there? There's a gunshot. 109 shots fired, 2 shots so far.
There's a rooftop across the street to protect residents. The following footage is okay. Wait, this video This video does not visually depict activity. This video depicts the audible observations made by officer. Okay. Okay. So there were 2 shots.
He's threatening to shoot the officers and he's breaking up some more of his windows.
He just went ducked in.
Okay, so this is that same moment, and this is from, these look like the snipers. So it's maybe those 2 shots were the snipers because they saw that he had a gun. Let's see.
Right side. What is that in his hand?
Can't see it.
That might be a gun.
He's got a cell phone.
He popped my camera on.
What's that? Camera? You want it on?
Yeah.
It's on.
Okay.
He's waving something around in there. Gun.
Gun.
Yep. They identified a gun, and then they shot him. Jesus. This is going to be the same moment. Yep.
There's no camera into the apartment, though.
No, there's no camera into the apartment showing him with a gun. And there's no actual footage of him getting shot, which I wouldn't show on the stream anyway. But, by all accounts, he had pulled out a gun, and they had shot him. And so, that seemed like a justified shooting. So, he shot up a bunch of things before and during the initial arrival of the cops. And then he retreated into the apartment. The apartments were evacuated. For a long time there, he no longer had the gun on him, so he wasn't an immediate threat, which is why the police were trying to talk him down. They were getting ready to go in. They had snipers, but they were trying to talk him down first. And then, by the end, when he pulled the gun out again and became a threat once more, then they killed him. And that's exactly how it should be. I mean, well, hold on. We don't want this to happen at all. But if you have to deal with a guy like this, this is pretty much how you'd want to deal with him. They gave him the chance to stop, and he decided not to take it.
Yeah, if he were shooting at pulling out the gun again at the end, then the only thing that makes me a bit dubious is there's no body cam or any footage showing that he did. What we have to go on off is the sniper's words.
I mean, yeah. But at the same time, like, if they found the gun on him or nearby after getting shot, that would corroborate it. The fact that there's at least several witnesses.
I knew he had a gun.
Yeah.
Already.
The fact that there's several witnesses, you know, like I think we can take their word at this one. I don't. It seems to be not really much funny business going on this time, you know.
I'm just reserving an air of skepticism, but if their words are to be taken, then yes, it's a justified shooting.
Yeah. Toffee me is for €5. Take money. Thanks. Thanks for the money. Someone in the chat says that the sniper was cool and smooth. It's good to see that level of control. Yeah, he seemed very controlled, you know. He was like, well, this is what our job is, and we see a gun, we got to shoot him, and then, you know, he took the shot, you know. It's very, very controlled. So let's just see here. That seems to be the end of that story. Is that this seems to be a justified shooting, and there's a lot of activists right now who have egg on their face trying to make this guy into the next George Floyd. This was not the next George Floyd. And you know, it's most of the time, not all the time, but at least a lot of the time, when a person gets shot by the cops, it's justified. I'm willing to go on record and say a lot of the time, certainly more often than not, it's a justified shooting. Like, people have been talking about, BLM have been talking about how there's so many innocent black men who are just gunned down by the cops like constantly, and the rates are through the roof. But like, if you actually look at the statistics, most black men who are killed by the police have a weapon in their hands, and it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? You know, what are you doing with a gun in your hand or something, going up against the cops? At some point, you bring this on yourself. You know. Now there are some instances where clearly the cops are in the wrong. But I think the cops are more in the right than the ACAB people want to give them credit for, in my opinion.
Like I said, if it happened the way they said it did, then it was a justified shooting. But if it didn't, then it's not. Like, if he rearmed himself, then yes, they were free to they were right to defend themselves. Mm-hmm. And others.
And I think that seemed like not entirely like perfectly conclusive.
Tragedy,
but
ultimately, because I'd rather people who have mental breaks be taken and gotten the help they needed.
Yeah, but I mean, if he has a gun, he has a gun, right? You can't. Yeah. You can't.
And if he has a gun, he has a gun. There's nothing that can be done.
Yep. You know what it is? I think the Second Amendment. Oh God, should I make this edgy joke? Okay. You know, fuck it. We're just gonna do it. I think the Second Amendment is actually a way by which we are slowly but surely weeding out the genes from the gene pool that cause various mental problems. Because if people with mental problems can get access to guns and then get shot, they're not reproducing. There's my based eugenicist take. How's that sound?
Easy. Well,
are you stunned?
Nah, it's not that surprising.
Eugenics, Andy. So yeah, I think like there's like a 99% chance that was a justified
I
shooting.
said in the beginning that having a gun wasn't a reason to shoot him. Did I say that, Dev?
That having a gun is a reason to shoot him?
I said having a
isn't?
gun wasn't a reason to shoot him.
I don't think you said that, no. I think having a gun is a reason to shoot him in this kind of situation, yeah.
I didn't... Yeah, I said it would only be a justified shooting if he was an immediate danger to others.
Yes, and
I think that's what I said repeatedly.
Yeah, and once he grabs the gun, he becomes an immediate danger. Chat, stop being salty. You're not allowed anymore. Okay, so let's see the rest of the super chats, guys. The chat saying that you got baited. Okay.
I guess Lars is an idiot. He always comes on every week just to be mad. Keep coming on, keeping mad.
Lars, give me money. I'll give you more attention if you give you money for being mad. Okay. Binary Ghost, $5. If you have a mental illness, that makes you a danger to yourself and others, and you need to be put away. We used to understand this. Depends on the mental illness. Sometimes, but sometimes not. It depends on exactly what you're talking about. But thank you for the $5. Maxi Samo for $5. Thank you. I think it's bad if the percentage of wrongful deaths are a high percentage, even if it's not most of the time. Even 10% is too high for human error. I mean, yeah, we want to get the number of wrongful deaths down as low as possible, obviously, right? I think everyone.
That's why I feel. That's why I'm looking at this individually and want to make sure everything is okay.
Yeah. Karakin for $5. Thank you. I'm looking forward to a minor YouTube /3D print /novel writing career. I relish the ability to be my own boss in the way that you are. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much, dude. I appreciate the $5. Maxi Samo again for $5. Thank you. I think inaction towards the legit cases cause groups like BLM to get more extreme, like that Nelson Mandela
said if he
quote said.
if he had a gun and he was shooting at the cops. I'm pretty sure I said both. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't say like having a gun by itself is not an immediate danger to somebody. I'm pretty sure you're just an idiot that's missing.
Lars, you're wrong about this. That's not what Lilith said. I remember it. Listen, Lars. If you can send me a clip of Lilith saying that, okay. But I think you're wrong because I don't remember that either. I don't know, Lars. I think you're just being wrong. Okay. Anyway. Maxi Samo again for $5. No, I already did that one. Binary Ghost, $5 again. Thank you. You're right, SFO. This young martyr deserves a golden coffin. Rest in power, King. Jesus. Maxi Samo again, $5. Thank you very much, dude. A lot of people are saying it's okay for cops to kill because it's happened before. Like, what? That's kind of a problem, you bootlickers. Yeah, fair enough.
If you're Lilith even said if you're standing there with a gun and you kill people yesterday, they can't shoot you. I'm pretty sure I did not say that.
No, you didn't.
You
didn't say that.
He used quotes as if that's literally what I said.
Okay, here, just ignore.
I'm getting gaslit
here. Just ignore Lars. I want to get through these three super chats. Okay. Tricky Mario 7654 for $8 more. Thank you. Would taking pictures of train carriages you rode on that were later scrapped be considered liminal? I rode in 2016 was cut up earlier this year. I mean, maybe, yeah. Post the picture. You know what? Post the picture to the account and see if
I
it
said they
takes him.
couldn't shoot him if he was just in the apartment.
Lilith,
and they were
don't.
trying to negotiate with
Don't
him. You
feed the
idiot.
trolls.
Sorry, I need to move on. I need to move on.
Don't feed the trolls. Just blindfold yourself. Horace Lupercal for $5.
I don't even get why the chat is so mad. I'm not even running into defense for the guy. I just want to make sure the cops did a justified shooting.
Well, I think it's only the one guy who's mad. But I think the reason that he's mad is that you're not immediately coming out.
I'm not martyrizing him.
Hold on. Hold on. I think what's going on is that because you're not immediately coming out with like either being completely pro or completely against, you're having like a nuanced take, they're getting angry. And if people get angry about nuanced takes, they're not worth listening to, honestly. They're not worth listening to.
Exactly. It's just like they just want us to come here. Oh yes, he deserved to die. Oh, it's good they shot him. Oh, it's good. Good job, cops.
Just masturbating over it furiously. No. Okay, hold on. Let me do the super chats, okay? Let me get through the super chats. Horace Lupercal for $5. There's so much stuff recently, YouTube and Reddit, that pushed the idea that Europe was diverse in the Middle Ages. Why is this stuff catching on? I think the TLDR is that because people are retarded. Because Europe was not diverse in the Middle Ages. Well, this stems back like way back from like 2016 or whatever with the whole what was that one game that was made where they specifically refused to put black people in it because it took place in historical Poland, and people on Twitter like lost their fucking minds.
Was it like Kingdom Come or something?
Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, it was that game. People were like losing it. It's like, calm the fuck down, guys. Jesus. Maxi Samo, $5 again. Thank you. It's the same reason we don't execute people just because they did something aggressive at one point. It has to be the moment that he's firing. Yes, exactly. He has to be a threat right then. Agreed. Let's.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying. Yes.
Let's refresh. Brother Doom for $2. Lars just wants to date Lilith. Yes. Probably. I'm gonna go with that. Investigator
So you're saying
Wimquin.
this is the equivalent of pulling my hair?
Yeah. Yes, that's what's going on. Investigator Wimquin for $5. Lilith, do you still believe that the Jacob Blake shooting wasn't justified?
The Jacob Blake situation is a bit complicated. Like,
Not for me, not anymore.
I don't think what he did previously, like, has any bearing on what actually happened. And I don't know. I need to look at the videos. I haven't heard.
Well, here's the thing. I know, like, you and I both saw that video, and we were like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. Like, we both had that knee-jerk reaction.
That's literally what I did. I reacted to the video. It looked like the cops, like, were dragging him out of the car.
It was like shooting him in the back 7 times. Yeah.
And shot him in the back. And that's what I said. It looked pretty bad. And now I reacted to it, and people got mad because, oh, he did this, he did that. And I said it's not relevant.
Well, hold on though, because this is where you and I disagree. Because you're right that it's not entirely relevant what crimes he had going for him before in that specific instance. That's true. Like, that is, once you arrest him, you then bring him to trial for those other crimes. Like, so that's true. However, one is that I think Jacob Blake was when I realized that I got to stop reacting to cop videos because, like, it turned out that he was completely in the wrong. And two, the context that actually mattered was the fact that there were kids in the car. He had a knife in the car. He had a history of beating the kids and the mother of those kids, and he was in the process of kidnapping those kids. So, like, if you as a policeman, if your job is to get those kids out of that car, and he's getting into the car to drive away, and he's kidnapping them, I think shooting him in the back is justified. Absolutely. So I think, but here's the thing: you need all of that context to understand why shooting him in the back is justified, and all that context did come out eventually in that case. So I at this point I am 100%. I am 100% on the side of the cops in that one. They did the right thing. But here's the thing: most people don't know the Jacob Blake context because the 15-minute news cycle on Twitter moves so fast. The Jacob Blake story became about Kyle Rittenhouse before we even got the information on Jacob Blake. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. Let's
Like
see.
if he was kidnapping people, and I still don't know if shooting him in the back was the right decision.
Yes, it was. Yes, Giga Chad, blow him away. Double the bullets. 14 shots instead of 7. He was kidnapping children. Lilith, he was kidnapping children.
Yes, but they could have done something else. Maybe, I don't know.
Yes, they could have killed him instead of paralyzing him. Okay, loose for the Doberman for $7. Thank you.
I don't know. Was he in immediate danger?
Yes, he was. Yes.
To the kids. If he was, then
yes. Well, here's the thing. Legally, well, first of all, he had a knife in the vehicle, so you don't want this guy to get into a vehicle and drive with the kids to a second location with a knife where he might do something to them. So, like, yes, that's a danger. But secondly, if you're trying to apprehend someone and they get into a car, legally that's considered the same as pulling out a weapon because cars are weapons. You could crash it into somebody. You could crash it into yourself. Like there's so many things you could do with a car that deals so much more damage than a gun. So if the cops are trying to arrest you and you get into a car, the cops are trained, in my opinion, rightfully so, to treat that as the same as you're pulling out a gun, because they can just back into you if you're a cop, right? Like there's so many things. There's so many things that I think that they were absolutely justified on like multiple different dimensions here. Okay, $7 from Loose for the Doberman for thank you very much, dude. Imagine the user drop if they started putting away everyone with a mental illness. That's right. TikTok would have no more people on it if they just started locking up everyone who had a mental illness. But Shaker Silver for $2. Does a society with guns require mental soundness? Maybe, like there was the other story that happened recently where like a kid wanted to shoot up a mall, and you had the good guy Chad with a gun stop him like instantly, and you can only have a guy like that if you have a society with guns. But you also have to have a society of mentally sound people. You know what I mean?
With Jacob Blake, I'm just a little bit miffed because like people were talking about, oh, he did this before, he did that before. I didn't hear about him kidnapping the kids part.
So well, I can show you that. I can show you the actual stuff now. Like all the evidence is out now. I can show it to you if you want later. I don't mind.
It's a story that happened a while back.
People are saying, Lilith, admit you were wrong in regard to Jacob Blake. Admit it now. Apologize. Prostrate yourself before the chat room.
No.
Just like, no. But I can give you the information later if you want. Let's see. Any more supers? Yes, there's one more. Toffee Me's for €5. Thank you. I think there was a misunderstanding. People thought you meant if a shooter who is still armed stops for a minute, he shouldn't be considered a threat. I mean, that is the good faith interpretation of the misunderstanding. Like, I think some people in the chat believe that you initially meant that if a shooter stopped shooting but still had his gun on him, then the cops should try to talk him down. But I don't think either of us believe that. It's if the shooter puts the gun down like somewhere else and then tries to talk to the cops unarmed. That's when that's when the situation changes,
Yeah. Look, chat. I don't know enough about Jacob Blake. All I saw initially was the video of him getting shot 7 times in the back. And after that, I got a bunch of people yelling at me about people, oh, he did this in the past, he did that in the past. All I care about is what he did when he was shot. So, if what Dev said is correct, which I have no reason to believe not to, then yes, he was just... Yes, it was a justified shooting.
I'm gonna actually check it out right now.
To prevent the kidnapping of the kids.
Yes.
Not because he ran away from the cops, but because he was kidnapping the kids.
Here, I pulled out the Wikipedia page because Wikipedia is great. We'll quickly look at it. Before we get out of here, we'll quickly take a look. On August 23rd, 2020, Kenosha police responded to a 911 call about a domestic incident at approximately 5:11 p.m. According to multiple official sources, the female caller referred to Blake as her boyfriend, said he was not permitted to be on the premises, and that he had taken her car keys and was refusing to give them back. Officers were also informed by the dispatch there was a wanted alert for someone at the address. Blake had a warrant from his arrest in July based on charges of third-degree sexual assault, trespassing, and disorderly conduct for domestic abuse. The woman who called 911 to report Blake had stolen her keys was the same woman who had previously filed the criminal complaint alleging that Blake had sexually assaulted her. The previous May, the woman alleged that Blake entered a room where she was sleeping near one of her children, thrust his finger into her vagina, pulled it out, smelled it, and said, "It smells like you've been with other men." The alleged victim also said that Blake had sexually assaulted her approximately twice per year. The officers were aware of the pending warrants before they arrived. One witness stated that Blake pulled his car up near 6 or 7 women shouting at each other on the sidewalk, and that Blake didn't say anything to them. According to other witnesses, Blake was trying to intervene between the two women, who were arguing when the police arrived. Officers attempted to subdue Blake, and 2 officers used tasers on him. A bystander who recorded a video of the incident told reporters that he heard the police yelling, "Drop the knife." The bystander said, "I didn't see any weapons in his hands. He wasn't being violent." The police union said that Blake was armed with a knife in his left hand, but officers did not initially see it, and he forcefully fought with the officers, including putting one of them in a headlock, while ignoring orders to drop the knife. Based on the inability to gain compliance and control after using verbal, physical, and less lethal means, the officers drew their firearms. One of Blake's attorneys disputed this version of events, calling it overblown. After the initial scuffle, Blake walked to the driver's side of his girlfriend's rented vehicle, followed by 2 officers with their handguns drawn. One of the officers attempted to grab Blake, and when Blake opened the driver's side door and leaned in, he grabbed him and fired several shots toward his back. According to the attorney, 4 of the 7 shots hit Blake. According to the police officer's attorney, the police officer saw Blake put a child in the vehicle as he arrived, and heard the woman say, "He's got my kid, he's got my keys." The officer shot Blake, believing he was attempting to kidnap the child in the backseat of the vehicle he was entering, and because Blake had a knife in his hand and twisted his body toward the officer. The Attorney General said that a knife was recovered from the driver's side front floorboard of the car that Blake was leaning into when he was shot in the back. Blake has admitted that he had a knife in his possession. The prosecutor who oversaw the investigation said that Blake admitted to holding the knife, and that the statements from the officers and witnesses had indicated that Blake turned towards the officer with the knife immediately before getting shot. According to Blake, though, he intended to put the knife in the SUV and then lay on the ground to submit to police. I'm sure. Okay, fine. According to Blake, he intended to put the knife in the SUV and then lay on the ground to submit to police officers, and that he wasn't thinking clearly, and he picked up a knife during the altercation, but denied having the intent to use it. So, that seems to me reasonably clear-cut.
Okay. It seems there was enough reasons that he shot him.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Hold on. Binary goes $2. He didn't do anything wrong. He was studying gynecology. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. But yeah. So that was the Jacob Blake situation. And yeah, here's the thing though. A lot of these details came out, like weeks, months later, So most people didn't know what was going on at the beginning.
Yeah.
And yeah, if there's kids in the car, you let them drive off. Like, who the fuck knows what happens? I think it was completely reasonable to shoot him.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? I admit I was wrong. He was justified. From the initial video, it looked like he wasn't justified.
Well, there we go.
But with all the information, yeah.
Yeah. See, everything's resolved. Everyone's okay, right?
Well, in this video, I was just questioning too if he was. Like,
I agree. Yeah. The scent. It's the scent of a cheater. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Wow. All right, guys.
He's been tased by cops twice. He should have surrendered.
Yeah. Yeah. The shot's like, we win! We win! You know what? I just had like 5 jokes flash through my head. I'm not going to say any of them. They're too bad. They're too bad jokes. Okay. That's the end of the Not Everyone is a Martyr TubCast. You know, regardless of how you feel about George Floyd, a lot of these instances, they just aren't. They're just not so clear as that. You know, like Jacob Blake wasn't. The guy we talked about today, Tekel Sundberg, his situation is not a George Floyd situation. You know, it's like, on the one hand, it sucks that this keeps happening because clearly there is a problem that needs to be addressed, maybe even on a societal level, about why.
Initially, there was a lot of dispute if he even had a knife to begin with. But then he admitted he did.
But yeah, in terms of the situation, like there's in terms of this situation, there's basically just something's going wrong with young black men right now, and that they're doing shit like this. Young white men are becoming school shooters. Young black men are doing shit like this. And like, if this dude were white, there would be no way you'd have left-leaning activists out here protesting at police violence. They would not give a fuck. But even beyond that, like,
no, they wouldn't care.
Yeah, not everyone. Not everyone can be the next martyr for a political cause. Some people, what happened to them just isn't political. It just is what it is. You know, not everything has to be filtered down through a political lens and viewed that way. This is the right has had problems with this in the past. The left is having problems with this right now, and that the left is
absolutely.
And you know, there are for every George Floyd, there's like 100 people who were shot in a justified manner, and I am tired of those justified shootings being co-opted and turned into like BLM protests and riots where cities get burned down. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think cities should be burned down for this guy's name.
Well, I think this one was so egregious that like those riots stopped those protests stopped pretty quick. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be going for Tekel Sundberg. Like this guy, no. It's thankfully cooler heads have prevailed on this one.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I've read all the super chats, and I'm going to be on EFAP in about half an hour, so I do have to go. Thanks for being here, Lilith, once again. As always, it's great having you. It's great doing the TubCast. I enjoy it.
Yep. It's good coming on, and thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thanks for being here, chat. Thanks for all the super chats and stuff. And we'll see you next week with something else. Have a good day, guys. Goodbye.
Yep. By the way, George Floyd was murdered.